All right, I got a really cheap double neck bass here, which is a project that I just completed. So this started as a $20 Facebook Marketplace bass, and this is a $15 pawn shop guitar. So the bass, the only thing that was wrong with it, besides just being old and needed strings, there was some duct tape residue right here. It had like wood screws here for the pickups, and it still is missing this bushing. I've been looking locally for that because I just wanted to buy one, and I haven't found it yet. So I just have it like that without the bushing. This brand was Phantom, and I think it's from the 80s. This guitar was a first act guitar, one pickup, one humbucker here. It had one volume. And the only problem with this one, besides needing new strings, someone had like some kind of weird setup here with the saddle, where it was like flipped upside down and had some kind of weird screw in there, and it wasn't playable as it was. It was priced at $25 in the pawn shop. My friend put it in a bundle with another guitar that he bought, and he got it for $15. So I figured they were a perfect bass, no pun intended, but the perfect bass to start with, because I wouldn't be cutting anything that was valuable. I've never done this before, but I think it turned out pretty well. But there are two major things that I would do differently on the next one. The first thing is that the bodywork. I didn't spend any time at all on the bodywork. I cut these. The fit was really well, except some of the paint was chipped where I cut it with my circular saw. So I put some wood filler in there. Body filler, auto body filler would have been better, but I don't like the smell of that in my little basement here. I have a small house. It would stink up the whole house, and I don't think the weather was nice when I did this to do it outside. However, I would do the next one. I would use auto body filler and sand it much better. You can see the joint on there, front and back. You can see the joint, but that's, you know, that's one thing that I would have done differently. The second thing I would have done differently was, which I don't have a router at this time, but I can get one fairly cheaply, which I need to get a router. But I should have routed this out to have a larger cavity back here. I could have used the plate for the base, it would have fit. And I would have been able to put at least two volume pots. And what I found is that the bass pickups and the humbuckers aren't matched volume-wise. I don't know the technology behind that or the technical jargon, but all I know is the humbucker is louder than the bass pickup. So 2 volumes would have allowed me to balance them better. This switch is just a Les Paul style switch that I got from CB Giddy. And other than that, the reason why I used this neck is because it had dot inlays and it was similar colors on the front. I could have shaped this, and I didn't realize this till after I had it all together. I could have shaped the edges of this to be more rounded like that. The only other thing that's not a match is the back. This is much darker and aged, but that doesn't bother me actually. I kind of like it. So it's the base body was plywood, so it's kind of heavy, but it's not really as heavy as I thought it would be. I'll weigh it and put the weight in the description if I remember to do that. Yeah, another thing that I did a mess up. There's a hole right here that I didn't realize. I think I drilled through from this bridge to this bridge in the wood on angles. And because I wanted to get a ground that wasn't seen through here. Again, I should have done that before I glued it together, but I didn't. So I drilled a hole through there, and I think I didn't get through at the right spot. So I drilled this hole, I think, to kind of find out where I was. And I forgot to fill it. At least that's what I think that is. I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm pleased with it. There's always room for improvement, but for, you know, not including the strings, $35, 20 and 15. I think this is a really cool, and I hope most people would agree, this is really cool for $35. I probably will never be skilled enough to play both at the same time. The only thing I would figure out to do is play whoops, I messed up the tuning when I was fiddling with this, but just to play the chord and do an open string that, you know, is the same as the chord. That's the only thing I could figure out so far. But then again, you know, you don't really have to play them both at the same time. You can just have this here, and it takes up less space than a bass and a guitar. So, you know, you have one guitar. I don't know, but basically I just did this as a project, and just to get some experience with doing more woodwork and modification. So hopefully this is, you know, profitable to someone else. If I can do this, you can do it too. And there's plenty of junk and cheap guitars out there. And I did a little bit of work with the action, and I made them play better than they were. And as I guess you can hear, I played this through a vintage polytone that has reverb and trem. So it's got kind of that old 60s kind of sound. And I guess you can hear that the first act guitar sounds fairly decent. And I always buy them if I see them cheap, because they're good start for a project guitar, and they play fine. So, all right, thanks for watching.